What does B keep in the freezer? On December 5th, 2007, a user on 4chan's random board started an innocent-looking thread titled, "What does B keep in the freezer? Guess what's in mine?" alongside a photo of an open freezer with something black sticking out. Most saw it as a joke, giving humorous answers like cake or Bambi's mom, while some turned to dark humor, guessing there was a body inside. Shockingly, 5 minutes later, the OP responded with "well done," and posted an image of what appeared to be a severed human leg. Over the next 10 minutes, two more disturbing photos appeared, one showing multiple severed limbs in a black plastic bag, and another of the OP's hand giving a casual thumbs up in front of the limbs. Then, the OP vanished, leaving users to speculate. Some attempted to debunk the images, but reverse image searches found no matches, raising the chilling possibility that the OP had taken them himself. The big question emerged, were these body parts real? It was possible they were just props for a horror project, but some users pointed out the limbs looked too realistic, even displaying signs of freezer burn, which only happens to actual flesh. If the limbs were real, who did they belong to? The OP gave no hints, but three theories emerged. The first and most horrifying was that the OP was a serial killer, though this was unlikely, as killers seeking attention usually leave cryptic clues or follow up to provoke fear, something the OP did not do. The second theory suggested the OP stole the body parts from a morgue, but strict regulations make it nearly impossible for someone to smuggle out limbs undetected. The third and most plausible theory was that the limbs belonged to the OP, as cases exist of people preserving their own amputated limbs for sentimental reasons, with some hospitals even allowing it. Yet after 18 years, with no evidence to confirm any theory, the true story behind this disturbing mystery remains unsolved. Stalker Sheep Killer Mystery. On January 28, 2021, a user on 4chan's paranormal board shared a chilling post titled "Mystery Sheep Killer." The OP, who lived on a farm in rural Denmark, described a terrifying experience that began one early morning around 5 a.m. when he heard an unearthly scream. The sound was so disturbing that he struggled to describe it, and a second scream followed shortly after. However, since he lived near a forest, strange animal noises weren't uncommon, so he brushed it off and went back to sleep. 2 days later, while heading to college, OP spotted his father dragging a sheep carcass through the backyard. While animal deaths on their farm weren't unusual, this one was different. His father admitted he had never seen anything like it before. The left side of the sheep's face was completely gone, stripped clean to the bone, including its tongue. Strangely, there were no signs of struggle, no claw marks, no torn wool, just a few bird feathers near the body. 4chan users speculated about possible explanations. Some thought it could have been a fox or another predator, but no predator is known to attack prey with such precision, targeting only the face. Others theorized it might have been a disturbed person on drugs. The most reasonable explanation was that the sheep died of natural causes and birds scavenged it, which could explain the feathers. However, this theory didn't account for the blood-curdling screams OP had heard days before. For weeks, the case went cold, but on March 30th, OP returned with an update, and things took a darker turn. One night, OP heard strange noises coming from the kitchen. When he went to check, his cat was staring out the window, frozen in fear. Later that night, he heard the same horrifying scream echoing through the farm. The next morning, his worst fear came true. Another sheep had been killed in the exact same brutal way. Since his last post in March 2021, OP has not provided any further updates. Without more evidence, the mystery of the sheep killer remains unsolved. DIY crystals. On August 18th, 2009, an anonymous user on 4chan shared a seemingly innocent guide on growing stunning crystals at home using common household items. The recipe included laundry bleach, table salt, baking soda, pennies or other copper coins, and ammonia. The instructions were simple. Mix the ingredients in a large glass jar, add pennies, and blow on them through a straw to trigger the reaction. However, anyone who followed these steps was in for a horrific surprise. The promise of beautiful DIY crystals was a flat-out lie. Mixing ammonia and bleach produces chlorine gas, an insidious and highly toxic chemical. Chlorine gas causes severe respiratory damage, excruciating chemical burns, and even permanent injury with just brief exposure. While prolonged exposure can be life-threatening, survivors endure the agony of breathing, feeling like razor blades scraping their lungs. It's a literal war chemical used by Germany in World War I that killed over 90,000 soldiers. Worse, the step involving blowing on the pennies wasn't just pointless, it ensured that victims leaned in closer, inhaling a deadly dose of gas. This wasn't mere trolling, it was calculated and malicious. The original thread has since been lost, making it impossible to know how many people fell for the cruel trick. However, a reply posted days later revealed someone nearly died after inhaling the fumes and spent a week in the hospital. They weren't the only victim. The thread became a copy pasta, spreading across Reddit, Tumblr, and even Roblox servers, reaching younger, more impressionable audiences. Replies like "amazing" can confirm this works, and "okay, just finished, looks amazing OP" erased doubts and made the post seem legitimate. Tragically, that may have led to the death of an 11-year-old boy in Maryland. On June 18th, 2015, someone posted on the legal advice subreddit with the ominous title, "My son accidentally..." because of Forshawn. They wrote that a month prior, their son died after following online instructions, thinking he was making crystals but instead creating poison. They asked if legal action could be taken against the person who ruined my life and devastated my family. Unfortunately, due to Forshawn's anonymity, there was no way to identify the original poster or seek justice. The only silver lining is that this deadly copy pasta has since faded into obscurity, reducing the chance of more victims.